Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is fashion, travel, and fitness, three of my favorite topics. My co-host Diane Floyd-Behm has the day off. She is at a conference today. So our wonderful team member, good friend, my mentor, Roland FRIEDL, is stepping in today to co-host. So I'm excited to welcome him. Let's bring him out. Hi, Roland.
Hello, Dr. JACALYN. Great to see you again, and thanks for inviting me to co-hosting you because I love the topic. It's so important.
It sure is. And by the way, if you're just joining us, we were just on another show, the United Kingdom News and Culture. Wasn't that fun?
Absolutely. I really enjoy it. I love British humor. I love British culture. I really enjoy it.
I do too. And I love the fact that we have people from all over the world who are coming together and sharing different experiences and different perspectives. I think that's so important.
Absolutely. It's all about connecting and sharing and caring. Absolutely.
And Roland, we have a guest today who's not backstage yet, but we're going to be talking about working out from home, working out when you're not in a facility, a gym, etc., and then how we can actually tailor our workout to the environment that we're in, or how the environment that we're in can help us still be successful in having a really good workout. And I think this is great, especially since you're living in an RV traveling through Europe. So you know all about this. But before we get into that topic, for people joining us for the first time, especially our new audiences on the radio, I would love for you to share a little bit about your background as well as how you work with your clients.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. Wherever you're joining us, my name is Roland. As you can hear from my accent, I'm not an English native speaker. I'm born and raised in a beautiful small country in the middle of Europe, in Austria. And I used to travel all my lifetime. So I'm very curious about new cultures and connecting with people and learning cooking new food and whatever about that. And I had a normal career, going to school, university, and then I had a very fast career in the corporate world, actually. So I had many experiences in sales as an employee, as a sales manager, as an executive, as the youngest member of board of director in a huge company. But then I left it because what I found out for myself is I wasn't really happy. I was a young father at the time, father of 3 boys. And what I found out, okay, I could provide my family with security, with money. That's what we combine. But I wasn't really present after work. So when I come home mostly late in the night, on the weekends, I was really exhausted. So I wasn't really present. So I left the corporate world. I started my own business in different areas, different branches. And about 3 decades ago, a little bit more than 3 decades ago, I found out with many talks, conversation with friends who are in a similar situation, being an executive manager in a company, that they also have lack of energy when they come home. So I'm very driven since more than 3 decades to support organizations, leaders, not only to perform much better. I mean, I don't know, increasing their sales, their revenues, or their market share, but also to help them to have a more happy and purposeful life, to get energized at home and really enjoy being an active part of their families. That's what really drives me since many years. So I run with my team an international consulting training companies. Our clients are mostly multinational, huge companies all over the world, but we also love to support small startups. And my team, we speak several languages, not only my German, also English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Polish, classical Arab. So we can provide our services in many different languages for my team. And I also love to coach people who, I always say, who want the same crazy lifestyle like myself, because I always travel most of the time. I love to travel. Actually, I left my home base, which has been my home base for the last 14 years, a beautiful island of Mallorca, moved to my RV to get a new experience, a new challenge about that, because many people have a dream living and working from an RV. So I do this to experience, because all my work I'm doing, all my consulting I'm doing is from my own expertise. That's why I live in RV now, not only for vacations for 3-4 months like they did in Paso, full-time right now, living and working there. So I can really tell my clients from first hand about my experience and what are the traps, the do's and the don't do's. So that's what I'm doing. And by the way, I always say, first of all, I'm a human being, but also a man, a father, a grandfather, by the way, and a lover. I established a men's group online where men meet on a safe environment and sharing their emotions, because I think that's mostly needed. Men are not really used to it. And by the way, I can announce here on USA Global TV, on this amazing platform where we share, where we care and inspire other people, that there will come soon a men's show called Wild at Heart Bonfire Talks, where just men talk about men's topics for men. So that's me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here and sharing that information with our audience. Roland, one thing I'd like to talk about when we think about fitness, we've interviewed a number of people here on our Loving Longevity platform, and also other people have been on about mental health wellness. And one thing that comes across is that we have to move. We have to move our bodies. We have to be physical. We have to be active. And I've heard it over and over again that people who live to be over 100, my understanding is that the exercise that they have predominantly included in their life involves something in nature. So it could be gardening, it could be chopping firewood, it could be going for a walk, etc. So one thing I'd like to just have you spotlight based on your experience is the importance of doing those things as a daily practice, but also we need weight-bearing activities as well, whether it's weightlifting or full body workout. What are your thoughts about that as we go through our aging process in life to include weight-bearing activities?
Well, I strongly believe it's very important. First of all, I've become 58 this year. And some people tell me, I did a lot of sports and fitness and whatever in my past, so in my youth, and now it's okay now. And I say, no, it's not enough. And even when you haven't done any sports in your past, it's never too late to start, especially when you're getting older. I mean, my work is of course a little bit different than in my younger ages. I do much more stretching in the beginning, much more warm up in the beginning, and then I go weightlifting, of course, because a really healthy body not only has to be lean, so as less fat as possible, of course, because when you carry more weight, your joints will suffer. Your heart has to need much more energy to pump the blood through your system. But it's also that you need to be a really strong body to fight against any bacteria or cancer cells, because we all have cancer cells. We all know that we need a lean mass, a good muscles. Not too much. That's depending on what you like from the experience, from your shape. But we need muscle structure, and the older we get, the more difficult it is to keep them or to gain them. So I strongly believe, besides doing gardening, as you mentioned, or what I love, walking the dogs, what is a daily exercise for me, or hiking, I do weightlifting at least 3 times a week, sometimes more often, but I do it because I know it brings me in a good shape. And not only that it looks good, when you have a nice arm or shoulders, but especially for the core muscles, it's so important, because so many people are suffering from back pain and stuff like that. So when you focus on your core muscle, you have a good core muscle, your good abdominal muscles, it really helps to avoid back pain. So I strongly believe it's very, very important. But the older I get, I have to do much more warm-ups.
Great points that you made there. And also, you hit on something that's really important, is the core, because the core is the middle, supports our whole body and helps protect against back injuries if you have a strong core. And there are plenty of things you can do anywhere in terms of working out your core. And that's a plank, that's a push-up, that's a squat. I remember I was in an airport, this is years and years ago, and a woman was doing yoga poses right there in the gate area. She was doing all kinds of poses. So there are things that we can do to keep ourselves fit and healthy, and we can do them practically anywhere. We just have to get into the right mindset. So one thing I'd love to talk about now is, as you're traveling, okay, you don't have a gym in your RV, I imagine, but you do have some tools. And I loved what you shared about the TRX, which we can explain what that is and how you incorporate that into your workouts. So would you like to share that with our audience?
Yeah, sure. First, before I start with my life now full time in RV, I was always traveling, especially not only for vacation, but especially always for business. I was always flying around, and I only booked hotels that had a proper gym and, if possible, a larger indoor pool to do swimming, because swimming is also very heavy. So I was always looking about hotels, about gym, nice gym, and if possible, so for a pool, or if not, just a spa to go to the sauna later. It's really good to get rid of the acid when you work out hard. But now, as you mentioned, I moved into my RV, and to be honest, for me it was a little bit challenging in the beginning, because I love gyms. Not for socializing, but they have a lot of different instruments, tools, weight bars, barbell bars, or whatever they're there. So I love gyms. I never was a huge fan of working out at home. I did it by my pool in the summer, as you said, just planking. So some stuff, but I was always a gym fan. Now in my RV, it's not possible to go to gyms all the time. So I brought a fitness mat for me and a yoga mat. So I practice sometimes yoga, but as you said, it's just normal plank stuff like that. I brought some kettlebells, but I guess the most thing I use is the TRX. I don't want to run any commercial for them, but I love my TRX, especially when I walk the dogs, especially when I go to forests. I make a short break with them. I find a tree. I find something where I can fix my TRX, and then I do some workout for 10, 15 minutes. Then we continue our walks with the dogs. I find another tree or another option where I can fix my TRX. I do another workout. Mostly I start with my shoulders and my arms. Later I go to my legs and then my abdominal. So I absolutely love this tool, because you really can fix it. Even when you're home in a hotel room, you can fix it in the ankle and the door. So I love this tool, absolutely, because it gives you can actually train with your own body weight. You can train with your own body weight in different intensity, depending on the ankle where you go, your whole body. It's a really cool, absolute cool tool. I can highly recommend, especially when you're traveling.
Absolutely. I remember my career in corporate, I would travel the world, and I had a TRX, and they even have these hand weights that are inflatable, so you can put water in them, so that you pack them up like a small float, and then you put the water in it. You can actually do bicep curls. But I have found for years that the plank is such a great way to work your entire body. And if you start off, you could be on your elbows or you could be on your hands, and you can set your phone there with the
timer.
Timer. Thank you. And I know at one point I was up to 11 minutes. And the way I did it was because I also had music playing. And every time I started shaking, which means your muscles are starting to fail, which is a good thing. We want that to happen. It comes down to your mind. It's your mind telling you that you can't do it or you can do it. So you have to keep pushing through. So my point being that wherever you are, there's always things that you can do. If you're someone who's not mobile, you can, if you're able to move your arms, you could do some chair yoga, or even maybe just do some, if you have cans of soup or something in the house, or even just lifting your arms up over your head. There are things that you can do. It's just a matter of setting your mind to push yourself to do it.
Absolutely. When the why is strong enough, you always find a way how to do it. Absolutely. There's always a way. even in the airplane, especially when you go on long trips, I get up if it's you're allowed and I stretch and I move a little bit, and sometimes I bring my hand luggage down from the cabin and lift my hand luggage. But people look at me like I'm crazy. But you know what? To be honest, I give a shit on that because I work on my health, so I don't care about what other people think. I don't hurt anybody else. I'm not bothering anybody else, but I do my workout. And you mentioned this lady on the airplane, on the airport. I do this too sometimes when I have my yoga mat with me. So just to do some yoga practice. And people look at me, and sometimes you have a really nice conversation. I said, hey, why do you look around? I mean, who cares? I don't care when other people are smoking, but why people are caring me to do something for my health, yeah. But it's not common. It's not common, of course. But what I want to say is, when your whys are strong enough, when you want to do it, when you're motivated, you always find a way. And I say 5 minutes is better than nothing, yeah. And I remember I had a guru, a teacher. He passed away, but I didn't see him live. But he's my guru. When I spent many weeks in an ashram, did my yoga teacher training, Shivananda, and said, you know what? 1 gram of practice is much better than a tons of theory.
Wow, how about that? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Something that I wanted to share, when I would stay in hotels, I would actually go into the stairwell, and the fire escape stairwell, whatever it is, and I would run the stairs. And it's interesting because we interviewed someone on another one of our shows. His name is Dr. Joseph Maroon, and he wrote this book, Square One. And he's an 8-time triathlete, and he shared in his interview that to get himself together for triathlons, he would put on a backpack and go up and down stairs in a building. So that is also, it's free. It's a free way to get into shape. If you think about how football players, and I think you call it soccer there, but football players, to get ready during the off season, would actually run sprints up and down the stadium stairs inside of a stadium. So running stairs or walking stairs is a great way to get your body moving as well.
Absolutely. Right now I'm staying in the apartment of one of my best buddies here in Düsseldorf to use his office. And I always walk the stairs. I never, whenever it's possible, I don't take the elevator. I always step, especially up. Not so good down, because the older you get, down is not so good, but up is good. That's what I do. But whenever it's possible, taking the stairs. And the other thing is that actually, by the way, without fitness, also drink a lot of water. Always water. I always drink water. It's so healthy. But what I want to say is, when you say that, I also brought them to my RV a weight vest. So it's 25 kilos, a military weight vest. I bring it with me. Sometimes people look a little strange for me, especially when I go 5 in the morning, because I'm an early bird. When you walk 5 in the morning in the forest with your dogs, with your big dogs, and you have this military weight vest. But I also use this weight vest because it really helps you. Just when you walk your dog, put this weight vest on, and you will see that you, on the other hand, you burn more fat, more calories, but on the other hand, you really build up muscles just by walking your dogs with this weight vest. I also use this. I have it in my RV too.
I have one also. I have a 20-pound weighted vest in New Jersey, and it makes a big difference. And if you think about it, if you had an extra 20 pounds on your body that you were carrying around, that's really a lot. So, and again, we are not medical experts, right? We're just telling you what we do. So we're not suggesting that you go and do any of these things unless you speak to your doctor and get clearance to make sure that it's okay for you. Roland, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to hear from some of our sponsors, and hopefully our guests will be here. And if not, we will just carry on, because that's show business.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll be right back after this message. Located at 121 Haddon Avenue in Westmont, New Jersey, is Margie Cedrone, artisan jeweler. Margie's been in business for more than 30 years. She works with her clients to create custom pieces of jewelry to reflect their personality and help them make their own bold statement. Starting in the renowned Jewelers Row in Center City, Philadelphia in 1988, Margie works directly with her clients to develop one-of-a-kind pieces such as necklaces, engagement rings, wedding bands, unique watches and tennis bracelets, as well as a myriad of rings and earrings for everyone in your family. She also has worked directly with Dr. JACALYN over the years, creating unique pieces of jewelry to reflect her personality. She does pearl stringing and repairs on site at 121 Haddon Avenue. Call or text Margie at 215-384-7155. Margie Sajone Jewelry is open by appointment only. Make your own bold statement.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Story Garden. Your host, Diane Boehm. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Diane Floyd Boehm tells wonderful stories that warm the heart, spark the imagination, and unite people and families across generations. For children, Diane's Harry the Camel connects with all of us who've ever wondered how different our lives might have been if only we'd been born something better, like a wonderful horse instead of an ordinary camel. In the end, we all learn along with Harry that there's nothing better than just being yourself. Diane's Little Girl in the Moon looks down on earthbound children and wonders if they know she's just like them. A story of love, home, and the bond between mother and daughter, its powerful theme that we're each of us different yet all of us the same plants a seed in children that promises to blossom within a loving and trusting grown-up. Diane's new biography, Rise, recounts the experiences of her grandmother, Ruby, to reveal the hidden strength of the human spirit. Ruby's story inspires all of us to become the best versions of ourselves. You'll find all of Diane's delightful books and much more at DianeFloydBoehm.com. Visit DianeFloydBoehm.com. That's DianeFloydBoehm.com.
By your love, what you're giving me is just not enough. I need a love to take me higher and higher and higher. Every step I take, I feel more awake. Getting closer now, I feel so alive. Stopping me, this is how I live. Ever closer now, just follow love. Love will take you there. Just follow love. Follow me. Just follow love. Love will take you there. Just follow love. Follow me. Follow love.
Welcome back to Fashion, Travel, and Fitness here on USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and I'm thrilled to have my co-host joining me as well as our guest who's backstage. My co-host today is Mr. Roland FRIEDL. He is the co-host of the Mallorca Connection program. He's also an expert presenter on our Talking Heads platform. He is an elevated listener on our elevated listening team, and he is also the host and the moderator for a new show that we have, For Men, By Men, About Men. And he's also a panelist on our Talking Heads panel. Welcome back to the program. Hi, Roland.
Hi, JACALYN. Great back after the break.
Yes, so nice to be back after the break. I just want to give a shout out to Madeline Chan, who is the award-winning singer our guest is backstage. Yes, her name is Sarah Jillian, and she is, I have to say, the queen of social media posting. I am so in awe and just thankful for all the posts that she did. And I just want to just encourage people, when you're going to be on a television show, let people know. Okay, people want to know, let them know. So Sarah is a children's book author. She is also an actress. She's an artist, and she has used the word clown to describe herself. So let's welcome her to the program. Hello, Sarah Jillian. Nice to see you.
Hi, Sarah.
You finally.
Yes. We were supposed to be on last week, but because of technology glitches, it didn't happen. So thank you for being here today.
Oh, it's fantastic to be here finally. I was really looking forward to it, and here I am.
Where are you joining us from today?
I'm calling, or we're joining together. I'm in Toronto, Canada.
Fantastic. Well, Sarah, we started off this show talking about the merits and the value of actually being creative and finding ways to work out when you're on the road. Roland is literally in an RV traveling through Europe, so he's come up with some great ways. So I want to hear about your background and then go into working out from home, what you found, how it aligns with positive mentality. Tell us a little bit about your background, please.
Well, I started out as an artist. I think initially I wanted to be an actress, but became an artist. And then I got into clowning. When you mentioned she sees herself as a clown, I actually was a clown. And I then became very involved with other clowns and started a clown business. And then I went back into my artwork. I sort of see myself a little bit as a chameleon type of artist that just kind of shifts from one thing to the other. And then I went from being a clown to writing some children's stories. I really enjoyed working with children. And I had a son. I got the baby bug and had a son. And was inspired actually while I was swimming in a swimming pool, my first book. And then I wrote a series of books, of 6 books, children's books. 3 of them are published. And then I suppose I went from there on to a little bit more artwork, and then back again to my initial feelings of being an actress. And now I'm starring in believe it or not, the writer and director of the series that I'm doing has written now a musical. So that means that I might actually be singing, which is kind of weird, but I'll be doing that. And I was kind of kicked out of the choir, but I'll try to do this movie. And I had also done a movie prior to that with him. He's a director from MTV that worked on creating Real People, that reality show. And so he's into reality shows. We just finished a filming of one film. And prior to that one, I was also in another one of his shows. So I've sort of gone from one thing to the other, and now I'm back performing as an actress. But I've always, throughout my lifetime, I think I started exercising at home. Mm-hmm. When I got the baby bug, I got a baby, and then I was stuck at home. So I started working out, and kind of goes from there. There's a million things that I started doing to get myself motivated. But I think mostly it was that baby weight that I had. I just felt like I had to get it off. And I started doing the 20-minute workout. And that I really, really enjoyed because it gave me a sense of, and this is the 20-minute workout. We're talking about working out on a television. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that, but it was just a show that was on. You tune in twice a day if you want. Just I would do it whenever I could because I was at home with my son, and I would do that, and it gave me a sense of, hey, I've accomplished something. This is good. And I also started to get results, but slowly the results came, but it was more a sense of accomplishment to actually doing that, getting the endorphins going and feeling good about myself again. Because, when you have a baby, it's not like your body falls apart, but it goes through a lot of changes. And that was bringing me back, I think.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Very interesting. We've actually never had a professional clown on the platform before. So I think no, seriously, I think that's really fascinating. When I started the show, I said you described yourself as a clown and you were a professional clown. So what skills did you learn from clowning that you brought into the rest of your life?
I think it was an attitude. It was, I started doing it when I was young, and I felt like it was more or less an attitude to life that is just sort of like yes, you take life seriously, and yes, we have to make it through the day because there's a lot of crazy things that are going on in this world that are seriously affecting our whole being. But if you have the attitude, like, just lighten up, like, yes, it's all serious, but on the other hand, just be, I can't, it's really hard to put words on it, but it's just a sense of just putting fun into the day and putting sort of just a good positive feeling. And when you're a clown, you have to be positive with these children. You can't go in there with the frown on your face. And not only that, but it would make your makeup look really bad. I mean, you have to be alive and up for the children. And so I suppose that was like a big boost for me. It made me, although my personality is very much like that, it also brought a lot of positive energy out there and back to me, because when you're putting it out, it comes back to you.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Roland, what would you like to ask?
Yeah, Sarah, when we talk about working out, and you as an actress, of course, you have to work out to stay fit and in good shape. But we all know that sometimes, we're not in the mood to get out of the sofa and work. And I always try to say, my sofa is calling me, but my gym is shouting louder. But anyway, there are some days where you're not in the mood. And my experience is, especially when you get out and you didn't like to start and you did it, then the training was much better, was much better. So what is your secret if you're not in the mood to stay on the discipline and start working out?
It's funny because I think that there are days where I'm really not in the mood. I mean, I feel like, but I know, I truly know. And I know because I do it almost, you could say religiously. I don't know what you would call it. I have my coffee in the morning, and I know that it would set my body in line. It would just bring me to it's that time. It's the time that you give yourself to just focus on yourself. And then I sort of feel like you give that time to yourself, then you can proceed with your day. And because it's always been my philosophy to just focus on myself and then focus on what's around me in the world. So I think that primarily just moving every day like that, so that it becomes a ritual that you you have for yourself, just that time, even if it's 10 minutes or 20 minutes, just take it and have it for yourself, and then you won't feel any sort of resentment to give back to the world. And I have to say, there was this book that I read when I was a little girl called The Little Prince, and I don't know if the audience or you are familiar with it, but there was a feeling, there was actually a quote that was in the book, and it was the first thing in the morning, you look after yourself, you brush your teeth, and you wash your face. And then the second thing in the world, the second thing that you do is you look after the planet. That's what was written in The Little Prince. And I think I've always stuck with that first it's a priority to, yes, the actual getting up is a gesture, awake, opening your eyes is a gesture. And then it moves from there to whatever your rituals are in the morning. So I guess I've just incorporated it into my life like that. And it's, if you see it, like, you should take that moment, even if it's 10 minutes in the morning. I'm sure everybody, when they wake up, they've got, a little bit of time to just do that. And constructively, what it does is it gives you a feeling of well-being, of accomplishment. And if you do it long enough, you get those endorphins going, and that's a real benefit, because then you feel really good.
Absolutely. Because people always have so many excuses. I can't do it. I'm so busy with my kids. I can't do it. I'm busy with my house. I'm busy with this. I'm busy with that. But it's all excuses. And what I really like what you said is make your, just when it's a short work of 10, 15 minutes, make it as a daily routine, just starting in the morning. But I love it in the morning too, because you have done it. Because most people, when they come back from their job in the office, they're so tired, exhausted. And once you hang in the sofa, it's a little bit more difficult to get out. What I want to ask you from your experiences, because some people have some dark shadows and a dark mood like myself. And my experience is when I change my state. So when I get up, when I move, when I'm sitting on a sofa, lying in bed, I cannot be depressed when I'm in nature, or when I'm walking or running and working out. What is your experience on that? Just changing your state and being in a better mood?
Well, I just, it really, honestly, it does it. It changes your mood. It sets your time. It sets it's like it sets you up for the day. And so, because it's mood altering, to have endorphins going through your body, I mean, it's just a physical thing to feel good. So I think, when you physically become active for those first moments, I mean, I don't mean jump out of bed and all of a sudden start exercising. I mean, I jump out of bed and go and have coffee first, honestly. But after my coffee, I think, oh, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this. But I say to myself, what I should do now is the exercise, get it over with. Like you say, get it over with. And then the rest of the day, just, you sort of, you do honestly feel that if you've accomplished that and you've done it well at the best of your ability at that moment, then the rest of the day, it's not that it doesn't matter, but it's like, well, it sets you up internally. Like, it's like, like the old clocks, like it's like a wind up,
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Sarah, I'd like to talk a little bit about your work as a children's book author. My writing partner and I are about to launch into our series of books for teaching children how to listen. And Roland is actually going to be one of the characters in the book. So, what can you share with aspiring writers who are going to go into the children's book genre? Because that's very different than writing a novel or science fiction or a murder mystery. What tips can you share?
Well, I know. I mean, it is. I found with my books, I found that I added a lot of humor into my books. My books are very funny. And what I did initially was I took my books and I read to kindergarten classroom. I was lucky enough to meet up with a librarian, and she asked me if I would come and read them. And this was before I published them. So I got the opportunity to go live into classrooms, and I put my books on overhead gels on a projector, and I read to the children. And that was the best thing I could have done before I got a publisher, because they were very funny books. And the children, oh, they were rolling around on the carpet. They were saying to me, "Oh my God, you're crazy. This is hilarious." There was one little girl I'll never forget. I wish I'd remembered or gotten her name. She was rolling around on the carpet. She was saying, "Oh my God, that character is crazy." And, you know, after the first reading, I have to say, I turned around and I started crying, because I felt like, oh my God, this is why I wrote these books, to make children laugh and have joy and love the characters and the story. And it was very fulfilling. It was very fulfilling. So my advice, honestly, would maybe to get out and read. I've done other readings to children, because what ended up happening was there was such a sensation with the first book in reading to these children that I was asked back by the librarian to do grade 1, then grade 2, then grade 3, then grade 4, then grade 5. And it turned out that I ended up reading to the whole entire school, public school, and they all loved it. So that also gave me an idea of the ages that I could target. So it gave me an idea. Okay, so I'm talking about kindergarten children all the way up to grade 5. They enjoyed it. So that was good too. It was good to know my age range and who I was targeting to.
Thank you so much. And the titles of your books, Did I Really Dream Last Night?
Yeah, Did I Really Dream Last Night?
Yeah,
and
we actually can share them if you'd like me to show them to the audience.
Fantastic, sure.
Okay, fantastic. Let me share the screen. Okay, let's take a look. And these books are available on Amazon.
Yeah.
Look, I love it. Look at the detail work here. It's sort of so we've got a horse head, right? But then we've got wings and we've got legs.
Well, you know, they're all based on funny dreams that a little boy has because he can't fall asleep at night. So it came to me actually while I was swimming, because I was thinking about our cat, and I was wondering, I wonder what the cat was dreaming last night. And then it got me thinking, you know, about all the crazy things that a cat might dream. So then I thought, well, what about my son who can't fall asleep because the cat that we did have was a kitten and she kept biting his feet and he was always complaining that he couldn't sleep. So I thought, well, wait a second. And I drew all these things together and went home and wrote the books. And I think the storyline being all these crazy dreams that a little boy has because he can't fall asleep at night. And it's just a very, very funny series of dreams that the little boy has. But at the end of the book, he says to his parents, he says, "Can I really make my dreams come true?" And they say to him, "Of course, Anthony Michael, you can make any dream come true. And I think that in every book was the moral that you can make every dream come true. But the funny thing was the captions were, does my cat really fly an airplane? Did my cat really suck up all the dirty socks with a vacuum cleaner? So there was all these different funny things. And like, is my cat really my great great grandmother in disguise? So, when at the end of the book, when in all of the situations, this little boy gets a different animal. So in each series, because his father owns the zoo, and they all have different things. But there's also in each book, for instance, the first book, did my cat really join? You know what? I haven't read them for a while, but I think it's at least I know one of them is, did my such and such give blood? So they're all sort of, or did my cat join a march for world peace? So there's all these sort of messages also about doing good things that an animal would do, so they're all kind of very funny and silly. And I guess that's what the kids really enjoyed.
I love the drawings as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also did something very unusual, which was not go with the regular text. I drew the text, which is, I haven't seen that myself.
No, I haven't either, actually, now that you mention it. How long did it take you to write and illustrate the first book versus the third one? Did you pick up some tips along the way that helped make the process go faster? It is a little difficult, but I sat down. Writing wasn't a problem for me. I'm very, I guess you say prolific is the word. I just like to write. But the drawings, probably each drawing would take me about 4 or 5 days. And so the first book took me, although I did really focus on getting it out, and I was very enthusiastic about doing it. So it took me, I would say, about 6 weeks, and it's about 32 pages, I believe, around 32 pages. So, and that was, I kind of worked nonstop. I was very, detailed about the work, but yeah, it took about 6 weeks, I would think, if I can remember. Oh, good work. We're actually looking for an illustrator for our books.
If I had the time, it's very, it depends. I started when I was very young. Somebody came up, I used to do a lot of drawing, and I was approached by a writer, and I was like 10 years old. And that's when I wrote my first book. I wrote my first book when I was in grade 9, but I was approached when I was 10 years old to illustrate a book. And it was a book about, she called it The Purple Snoo. So she wanted me to come up with all these ideas. So I did the illustrations. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if she saw my illustrations, she really liked them, but that was my first experience on focusing in on somebody's idea for a book. So I was 10.
It's amazing. I wasn't writing anything when I was 10, I don't think. How about you, Roland?
I was very bad in drawing. Actually, my mom did all my drawings for school. I was really bad at that. but I always loved writing and stuff like that. So I was playing in a band, so I was writing the lyrics for songs, stuff like that. I didn't like that. Sarah, what I would like to ask you is, when you're in a creative process and you're stuck, whatever it is, drawing or acting or writing, when you're stuck, what do you do? You're stepping away and saying, okay, give a break for it, or you stay?
It's funny. You might not. I don't get stuck, because if I have an idea, I'm the type of person that if I have a creative idea, oh my God, I have to do it. So if I don't ever believe being stuck, what I do, I mean, I can imagine there's a lot of things you could do if you were stuck. You could go for a walk, but myself, I don't usually get stuck. I usually get an idea and then I have to put it down either on paper or, writing. But I suppose if somebody was stuck, my solution to being stuck would probably be go for a walk. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. Some of the things we're talking about, I'm obsessed with schedules. Everything is written down. I've got yellow pad after yellow pad, and I always schedule in my workouts. And in what I'm doing, there's some creative process as well. And sometimes I get frustrated because on a Wednesday, like today, there's literally no time to work out. I am back to back to back to back. And by the time I'm finished, it's 6:00 tonight, and I stand for all my shows. And I literally cannot even think about exercising because I'm too tired. And yet it's so against everything I am. But my point is, and this is not about being stuck, but I think it's also about giving yourself grace. So I used to beat myself up on Wednesdays, and I'd be like, I hate Wednesdays. I don't want to do all these shows for Wednesdays. And now I look at it, oh, I'm learning on Wednesdays, and I'm taking this day off. This is the one day I take off so that I can be totally present to learn. So what are your thoughts on that, Roland?
I just wanted to add something, because we mentioned it's Wednesday. Yes, and I have to tell you, ladies, you really look great on this Wednesday. I was reading a study. It was published by.
Was that Wednesday we're supposed to fall apart?
No, you're really. The study says it was done by a huge international company that produces cosmetics for girls' beauty stuff, and they said on Wednesdays, ladies look worst, because they're still suffering from the partying and the alcohol, and also from the stress in the middle of the week. So Wednesday is the worst time to look good. It's a study.
Wow.
I was reading it today, and you look both really great.
Oh,
that's funny. Yeah, well, I'll have to remember that. And when I wake up on a Wednesday, next Wednesday, I'll be like, I better make a real effort.
Well, it is interesting that you brought that up, because by Friday, even though I'm tired, because as I mentioned, I stand for all my shows. So let's say that's 25 hours plus that I've been standing. By Friday at 5:00 when I'm finished, I say to myself, you know what, you look pretty darn good. But Wednesdays, I look horrible. I don't know what, like today I go, oh my gosh, I look horrible. I don't know what that is. It's we're off track, but anyway. Sarah, as we come to the last part of our show, I'd love for you to share with us this passion that comes through with your social media posts. Most people that I know, even people on this platform, Roland excluded, don't know how to use social media, don't want to use social media, don't see the value of social media. They come to the platform, they do an interview or 2 or 3, and they don't let anybody know. So why is this something that you've embraced and that you really excel at?
You know what? It's been a lot of fun. I mean, I'm a creative person. I suppose what I find in social media is inventing things that are creative to put out there. It's, I'll wake up from a nap, say, and I'll go, I think I'll make a video. So I look at what I've done during the day, whether it's photographs or I'll be walking down the street and I'll put the camera on me, or I'll put the camera on me just sitting. I'll make some faces, and and then the whole fun for me is taking the video and putting it into the effects and then adding all the effects. And it's so much fun. It's such a creative thing. So it's satisfying that creative bug I have to do something and get it out there. And people either they look at it or they don't, they like it or they don't, they go, oh my God, here she goes again with another dumb video. I don't really, to me, it's just, hey, I wanted to be creative and I did, and then I put it out there, and you might not like it. You might, it's one of my expressions, I suppose. And, when you are that type of personality, it's just fun.
Thank you for sharing that. I think it's also, you've created a brand for yourself, and whether people like it or they don't, it's like, oh, there's Sarah again. Oh, there's Sarah again. There's Sarah. So I know for myself, anytime that we broadcast, I don't know if this is on everyone's device, but I know, for example, every time we broadcast, my mother's phone goes off. I'm like, yep, that's me. That's me. That's me. That's me. And I'm sure it must annoy people, but guess what? That's me. We're creating content. You want to jump on, you want to learn, here we are. And if people don't like it, it's not for them. That's okay too.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And you do it because it's part of you. It's part of your expression, and you are putting it out there, and it's either it hits or it misses, and it doesn't matter. You're not doing it for that. You're almost doing it. It's almost like a calling inside you to get out, right? It's just to get it out. And at the end of the day, when you lie down, you go, oh, I did that. Okay, I can go to sleep now.
It's funny. And then Roland, I'd love to have you comment as well. Over the summer, I did a couple videos walking or exercising, and I had no makeup on, and I really looked frightening. And they're the ones that have the most views, believe it or not. And I was waiting for, someone to put, because there are people out there who will put nasty comments, but I didn't get any nasty comments. I got, hey, thanks for putting yourself out there, or I'm going to give that a try. So you never know, by putting yourself out there, one person could be impacted in a positive way. Roland?
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. I always say you can't make it right for everyone, but if you just touch one person, that's all. That's good. If we make them a change for them, or you make them smile, or make them think about a new idea, whatever it is, when it's just one person, and you do it every day, it's 365 persons a year. That's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Very true. Very true.
Tell us about your experience on TikTok. I haven't even attempted that. I think I have an account, but that's a whole new ballpark.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's really funny. I mean, I didn't want to be a TikToker. I looked at it one day and I was like, oh my God, that's scary. But what happened was I got asked to do a job as a TikToker. I didn't know it was going to be a TikTok job. He said, would you come to this a little performance that I want you to do, and it's going to be uploaded onto TikTok. Do you have an account? And I'm like, no, I don't have a TikTok account. God, no. But then he said, well, if you want to see the video, it's best if you do. So I started an account, and this was back just a couple of months ago. And he uploaded it. And then after, a day or so, I looked at it and it was getting 10,000 views and then 20,000 views. And before I knew it, it was up in December to over 100,000 views. And I thought, gee, you know what? Maybe I should do my own videos. And then when I did it, I realized that I could take the video and I could put it onto their effects and add music. And the whole concept of adding cool music and having it just sort of, it was like, wow, this is an experience. So the TikTok thing is that you can add stuff. And then all of a sudden, well, I have to tell you a funny story. I had a problem with my phone, and I had to call the phone company, and they told me, look, you've got so much going on your phone. You've got to get rid of TikTok, and you can load it back onto your phone after we're finished. So I said, fine, we'll do that. So they got rid of my TikTok. And when I went back to put it back on my phone, it disappeared. The account, I couldn't get it on my phone. It's just gone. But so that was like a month ago. And I had to restart a whole new TikTok account. So what I did was, because my other old account is actually on there, you can go there and like the video and it comes onto your account. So it counts as a like for your TikTok account. So that's what I did in bringing them back to me, even though I can't access that account. So I started a whole new account. So yeah, I've got a TikTok account, and it's just fun, silly videos, but it's fun music as well, which is, it's kind of enjoyable. It's fun.
I'm going to have to look into it. Roland, are you on TikTok?
No, not at all. But yeah, I'm curious now.
Maybe you can give a TikTok course. How to use TikTok if you're in your 50s. I think that could be a course.
A course? How to TikTok?
A workshop for 50 plus.
Yeah.
50 plus TikTok.
I think so.
I think too, like anybody, it seems like we're all there. If you look at the videos, there's so much content there. Everybody's doing it. There's all kinds of stuff happening there. I don't know if it might have started out as a teenage thing, but it's everybody now. It's you get pretty intense videos on there. I don't honestly watch a lot of them, but when you turn on your TikTok, all of a sudden they blast you with videos. I don't know if you've ever checked it out. It's kind of funny.
No. So I signed up for TikTok, and I was going to use that platform for my other business, which is teaching people how to listen. I teach listening courses, and I thought, oh, maybe I can get people interested in learning how to listen at an elevated level. And I created an account. I think it was Listening Mentor or something. And then I thought, I don't know what to do. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. So I took it off my phone, but I'm sure if I went back on, it would somehow come up. But it is interesting because we've interviewed a number of people on here who are making 6 figures from being on TikTok. So there is definitely a way that people can use that. Also, we have people with millions of followers who are not making any money. So I think it depends, what is your goal, and is it as an expression of your creative side, or is it something you're looking to earn money from?
Yeah. I think if your intention when you're creating something is to make money, you're not doing it for all the right reasons anyway. So when you're creating something because you're just being creative, people might like it or they might not, but it doesn't matter. So it's sort of like, if you go into anything like, I'm gonna make money, I don't know. I've always just created. It's just comes from within you, right? So yeah, whatever happens.
Roland has an expression about would you do it for free, right, Roland? Everything that you do in your life?
Yes, absolutely. Whatever business comes to me or opportunity, everything, would I do it for free? Then I go for it. Would I do it only for money? I stay away.
Yeah, I like that philosophy. Well, Sarah Jillian, our show has come to an end, and we're so glad that you could be here. I'm going to spotlight you, and your banner has been showing, but for people who are listening on our new radio channels or people who are not able to read the banner, what's the best way to get in touch with you, and who would you like to reach out to you?
I'm on all social media, as you've said. I'm on TikTok. I've actually started a YouTube channel because I thought, well, maybe I'll upload some videos on there and see what happens. So there's Sarah Jillian on YouTube. There's Sarah Jillian on TikTok as Sarah Jillian 71. There's Sarah Jillian on Twitter, Sarah Jillian 71. There's my Instagram, which is Sarah Jillian. But it doesn't say that. It's sort of tricky because when I was changing account names, they made me change it. So it's that Sarah at 1234. So that's Sarah 1234. And then there's Facebook, and you can reach out to me on Facebook. I have a really hard time with Facebook making friends on that. I do and I don't always see people. And you have to, with Facebook, you have to get permission to be their friend. But on the other social medias, I'm also on LinkedIn. And I think on LinkedIn, I'm Sarah J on LinkedIn. And
Fabulous.
did I cover everything?
I think you did. Yes, thank you. I was going to share that the platform that I'm least on is Instagram, because Instagram doesn't permit us to stream there. So
right.
Yeah, so how about you, Roland? Which platform are you most active?
Actually on Facebook, but to be something, I'm silly. I'm lazy on social media. So sometimes I post first on Instagram, and it comes automatically on Facebook too. So I catch two flies on one.
That's funny. Well, thank you again, Sarah. Please do come back and visit with us.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Welcome.
It's been a lot of fun. Finally.
Yes, I'm so glad we got it together. So you can come in and be a guest on our other shows as well.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it. It's been very lovely and nice meeting you both. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you
so
too.
Much. Bye
See
now.
you later. Bye.
Bye, Sarah. Bye, Sarah.
Bye now.
I'm so glad we got it to work out, because last week the technology wasn't working. So anyway, it was great to meet her and hear about her work. As I mentioned, I've never met anyone who was a professional clown, and I can see that would bring a lot of joy. And you have to have a lot of energy, right? And a lot of get up and go to be inspiring to other people. I know when I was in my corporate job, I sold meetings and events. And so I would entertain the clients, and then our staff would make sure that the meeting was running properly. And I'd be walking around like this around the convention. Hello. And I remember, just a quick story. We were in Chicago at the, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the convention center, but I showed up wearing 5-inch heeled Manolo Blahniks, and I had on this beautiful Armani suit. I mean, I looked good, and I was completely not prepared for what was needed. Walking back and forth in the convention space like this. Hello, good to see you. Hi, welcome. Hi. So I imagine as a professional clown, you have to come and show up with that amount of energy. And even as an actor, you've got to be able to get yourselves into those various roles, and that takes a lot of skill.
Absolutely. No, it was very inspiring and funny, because she's so real and authentic, and you can feel this vibrant, this energy. Absolutely.
Definitely. And I hope she has some time that she can do illustrations for our books. So I'll reach out to her. Cool. So Roland, I'm going to spotlight you. You're actually coming back for the business show. Mr. Alcini has the day off as well. And I just want to thank you for being here. I know you are set up traveling around in an RV. You've got your green screen, and you make it possible wherever there's strong Wi-Fi to bring us with you. So thank you for doing that. What would you like to share with our audience before we go?
Yeah, welcome. Well, first of all, it's always when your why is strong enough, the how is not a problem. Anyway, yeah. So whenever you want to reach out to me, whenever I have a discussion, I'm really curious about people. What's their backgrounds? What their future thought? What's their purpose? When they're looking for something, whatever your concerns, or whatever your belief system is, or whatever your dreams or your wishes are, if it's in a business or in private, whatever it is, just reach out to me. I'm just happy to get in touch with you and to know and to share ideas, and maybe we can do some business together. If not, who cares? We're not here just only to make business. We're just here to connect and share. And so reach out to me. To my website is the easiest way. Go to my website. It's my name, RolandFriedl.com. I will spell it for you. It's ROLANDFRIEDL.com. And from there, you get to know me, and you can contact me, and you will also get linked to different other websites from different topics, depending what you're interested in. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. And I've shared this before, but it's so true. I've learned so much from Roland, and it's amazing because Roland was introduced to me through another person, John Christian, whom we had a show together. Roland was the guest, and I immediately felt this connection with him. And now he's on all 4 of our teams. He's leading and moderating his own panel show, which is amazing. So the point is, you need to reach out to him because he's a great mentor. He's an excellent coach, and he has insights, and he can share his experience in a way that you can take it immediately and run with it and incorporate it into your own life.
Thank you. And I can tell the audience, give it a try, because when John, and I really trust him, approached me for the first time to do an interview. I did in the past a few times on TV shows, but I didn't like it because they edited, they cut it, and then the content was totally different in a different context. So I didn't like it. And when John approached me, I said, no, I'm sorry, TV, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. But I trusted him, and I said, that's what it was, a learning for me. Give it a try. And yeah, I feel really good about it. And I'm so happy that you do all this effort to establish this platform and to provide this platform for us, because that's what people need, get inspiration, learning, sharing, caring, connecting with other people. That's even more needed than ever.
Well, thank you so much. And I look forward to chatting with you more. And I'll see you on the business show as well.
Yeah, see you later. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you, everyone, whether you're watching us on the live or on the replay. I just have a couple of very quick announcements. If you're not aware, I have a second book coming out. My first book, it has been out for since June, when I became an Amazon #1 bestseller, Behind the Green Screen. My second book is coming out, and it is called Adversity to Awesome: True Life Stories of Inspiration from Survivors of Imprisonment, Addiction, Sexual Assault, and More. And this is not the final book cover, by the way. We will be launching the book on a live book launch show, which is May the 4th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. British Summer Time. This book is 12 chapters. Each chapter is written by a different author. The first chapter is written by me. And of course, my book coach and I, my editors, we have been spending literally hours editing and making the flow of the book so that it's really interesting. So we'd love to have you join us for the live book launch. You can go over and pre-order the book on Amazon. Okay, my next announcement is about our reunion show. This show is sold out. You might be wondering, what is it? This is something that we do 3 times a year. This is a 6-hour live streaming show that you, the person in the general public, can sign up for. This one's sold out, but it's all about promoting your work. It's not about an interview. You get 15 minutes to promote whatever it is that you have to offer. Maybe it's your screenplay, it's your poem, it's your book, it's your business, it's your service, it's your product. So join us this Sunday for 6 hours of live streaming, and you'll get to meet the people who've signed up for this particular event. And then we will have our next one coming up at the end of the summer. Last announcement, in case you're not aware, in addition to running this platform, I also have another business, which is drjacalyn.com. And I teach people how to listen at an elevated level. So if you would like to increase your listening skills, and believe me, we all can use a refresh, how to listen without judging, how to listen without interrupting, how to listen without trying to come up with a solution for the other person, please go over to my website, drjacalyn.com, and you can join our community. You can sign up for courses there. All right, that's all we have for right now. We are off until 2 p.m., which is coming up shortly, and we'll be back with the Business Talk Show. And my co-host will be Roland FRIEDL, who's filling in for Mr. Alcini, who has the day off today. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you, Roland. We'll be back. Bye.